Oh, I'm back. I'm back with another one, man. Listen, I haven't done this in a very, very, very long time. So we about to see what it's hitting for right now. Right now. You already know, man. Look, it feel new. I haven't done this in 3 weeks, man. That's because I was on vacation. You know what I mean? Staycation. I ain't really do nothing much. You feel what I'm saying? But I missed y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I missed y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who viewing this. Matter of fact, let me get to my bag. This your boy Hype Fan Eagle representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. Uh uh Damn, I forgot my wait, what I used to say again? This your boy Hype Fan Eagle used to shout out to my first time viewers, shout out to my last time viewers, shout out to the people that's viewing this video rather religiously or in passing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you will be notified when I go on live. You already know, man. What's going on, brother? What's going on, my brother? Yeah, man. Like I told y'all, man, I was on staycation, man, just enjoying myself. You know what I mean? Had to take a break, man. You know what I mean? A good 3 weeks. Had to take a break, but now I'm back, man. I'm back full effect. You feel what I'm saying? And let's talk a little bit about the Eagles, or let's talk a lot about the Eagles, man. Um, I've been staying in tune. Believe it or not, I've really been staying in tune with what's going on. I've been watching all the preseason games. I've been watching all the mini camp. You feel what I'm saying? I've been wanting to get into the camp notes and everything, but I just been chilling for real. You feel what I'm saying? I just been chilling. But let's get into it, man. First off, I want to start by saying I want to talk about Tanner McKee. I think Tanner McKee is a phenomenal backup. I don't know if we're going to use him for trade value or not, but with the addition to Sam Howell, there's something that might be brewing. You know what I mean? We might end up having three quarterbacks. You feel what I'm saying? Uh, all I got to say is Darius Cooper. Oh yeah, nah. Listen, we gonna get to that. We definitely gonna get to that. You feel what I'm saying? We definitely gonna get to that. Um, Yeah, Tanner McKee, you know what I mean? With the addition of Sam Howell, with the late addition to Sam Howell, I feel like we might roll in a season with three quarterbacks. It might be Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, and Sam Howell. Tanner McKee, I think he's injured right now. He's dealing with a finger injury, so we got to see what's going on with that. Um, what else? What else? I got some bad news for the cornerbacks. It seems like we might be sticking with Adoree Jackson. Neither Adoree Jackson or Khalid Ringo showed me anything. That's why we had to pick up the cornerback from the Raiders, Bennett. Um, Hopefully he can show us a little bit of promise. But I didn't like what I seen out of Adoree Jackson or Khalid Ringo. They both look like some. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, Khalid Ringo was going to actually show up and, do a little bit more. That's what I thought. I thought he was going to do a little bit more. Where are you taking us? I'm going to work, brother. Uh, and say, hell nah, we drafted Tanner. That boy is a baller. Yeah, Tanner is a baller for sure. You feel what I'm saying? Tanner is a baller. But like I said, bro, I didn't see anything out of Adoree Jackson or Khalid Ringo to make me be like, oh, that's CB number two. If anything, man, they both didn't display the best that they can do on tape. Even rewatching the tape, it's a lot of times where I seen Khalid get burnt off rip. You know what I mean? Or just get beat. It's a lot of times I've seen Adoree Jackson get beat. But what I will say is that if I want to give somebody a nod at the CB2 position, it's going to be Adoree Jackson. I saw a little bit more from him than I saw from Keely Ringo. Not saying that Adoree Jackson did anything better, but I did see a little bit from Adoree Jackson than Khalid Ringo, if you want me to be honest. If you want me to be honest, bro. Like, that's just that for real. You know what I mean? Um, Out of the defensive front, Uche, and I saw a little bit from Uche. I didn't really see no promise for real. Ty Robinson definitely got a future if he could just clean up a little bit. Um, who else? Who else? Let me see. Cool Willie said. And from what I saw, Bennett is sticky, icky, icky. Brother, like Brother like some sour diesel. What you know about sour diesel? Nah, you know what I mean? And listen, once Bennett get used to this Vic Fangio defense, I feel like he's gonna be starting for real. You know what I mean? The only thing I don't like is I don't like that number 49 on the brother. He got to get rid of that number 49. I think he 48 or 49, something like that. They got to swap his jersey number out. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. At all. But yeah, Ty Robinson, like I said, once he clean up certain things, I think he's gonna be alright right now. I don't feel like he's that bully like how he was at Nebraska. But like I said, he's a rookie though. He's a rookie. You know what I mean? He got a lot to clean up, but he got some promise. Darius Cooper is somebody to look out for. You know what I mean? Darius Cooper is somebody that we should want to develop off the rip. Off the rip, he should make the 53-man roster. You know what I'm saying? I like what I saw out of Darius Cooper for sure. Johnny Wilson got a season-ending injury. You know, he was promised to take that number 4 spot. You know, that's why we end up having to go get my guy from the Texans. I forgot his name. Mechie. You know what I mean? He played with Devontae Smith. I like that. I like that trade. I like that late addition. Mechie, you know what I'm saying? That'll be good right now. Hopefully Jahan Dotson, he can show and prove out of that wide receiver number 3 spot. I like what I saw out of there. What else? Listen, man, preseason is over, bro. And now it's time. Now it's really time for the season. You know what I mean? Now it's really time for the season. We got, you know, the Dallas Cowboys week 1, and they're going into their own season with a bunch of mess, with a bunch of Micah Parsons mess and stuff like that. They got to figure that out. They still need a running back, but that's neither here nor there. That's their problem. You know what I mean? We got our own problems to deal with. We got our own situations to deal with. We got to see who's going to make the cut, who's going to make the 53-man roster by tomorrow. We will all figure that out. You know what I'm saying? We will all figure out who's going to get waived. Right now, somebody got waived. Oh, and also, with addition to Fred Johnson is back on the Philadelphia Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. We should give that a round of applause. You know what I mean? We end up acquiring Fred Johnson yesterday for a 7th-round pick. You know what I mean? We pretty much let him walk, get the bag, and then we reacquired them back. So that's good, man. It's always good to beef up the offensive line. You can never go wrong with that. That's why Saquon was damn near, not even damn near, he was the number 1 running back in the league last year because of the offensive line. You feel what I'm saying? He was the number 1 running back in the league last year. And what I saw from Bennett, okay, cool, already got that. Yeah, man, he was the number 1 running back in the league last year because of the offensive line. So you can never go wrong with that. You know what I mean? Also, I want to say this, right? Pardon me. I want to say this, right? When it comes to a team, you will always have an area that's weaker than the other. And from my opinion, that might be the defensive side. The defensive side might be weaker than the offensive side, if you want me to be totally honest, because if you look at last year and what we gave up last year, we gave up some real good pieces. You know what I'm saying? The question marks going into this year was what we're going to do at safety. What are we going to do at the cornerback position? You know what I mean? But right now, that might be a problem. Do we have enough depth on the defensive line? You know what I mean? Do we have enough good rotational pieces on the defensive line? That is a question. Who is going to be CB number 2? That is a question. Who is going to be safety opposite side of Reed Blankenship? That was a question, and it still is. If you want me to be honest, a lot of people like what they saw out of Andrew Makuba, but if you want me to be honest, that's only one game. That's only one preseason game. I like what I saw out of Sidney Brown for the last couple of preseason games, and only reason I say that is because I saw Sidney Brown play in the box. I saw Sidney Brown hit. I saw Sidney Brown cover. I saw Sidney Brown do enough to actually maintain that starting job. Now to me, it's his starting job to lose. We'll see. You know what I mean? He got a couple of games to prove otherwise, but he got, you know what I mean? He got a couple of games to prove otherwise. I like what I saw out of Andrew Makuba, but like I said, it wasn't like he played 3 full preseason games or 3 halves of a or half of 3 preseason games. We only saw him rock 1 preseason game, and people think that he should just get that starting safety spot. I saw Sidney Brown. I saw what I needed to see out of Sidney Brown, if you want me to be honest. I didn't really see a full length of Andrew Makuba. But it's all, like I said, it's all good. Who knows? Listen, during mid-season, they might make a change. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I like what I saw out of Andrew Makuba. I like what I saw. But it wasn't like he did that 3 preseason games. You know what I mean? That's just wasn't the case at all. That wasn't the case at all. We got to see more from Andrew Makuba. Like I said, it's Sidney Brown's job to lose, and that's that. As far as CB number 2, we don't have no choice right now but to roll with Adoree Jackson. I don't think that Khalid Ringo is going to start over Adoree Jackson. Honestly, when we acquired Bennett, I don't think that Khalid Ringo is going to start over Bennett. For real, for real. It might be Adoree Jackson for now until Bennett gets the hang of Vic Fangio's defense. Then it might be Bennett, Adoree Jackson, and then Khalid Ringo. And like I said, bro, we already knew this going into this. Khalid Ringo was going to be a question mark. We already knew that. A lot of people were vouching for us to get another cornerback because Adoree Jackson wasn't going to cut it. He was older, you know what I mean? And it was a reason why he was jumping from team to team. So a lot of people already had those question marks. So I don't know, man. I don't know. With the linebacker position, this is the first year. This is the first year that we are very good at the linebacker spot. We got so many linebackers. It's crazy. You know what I mean? We still got Nakobe Dean, who, you know, who's coming off of an injury, but showed up and showed out last year. He still got to prove it this year, but he showed up and showed out last year. We got the mammoth of a man and, you know, Hattie Campbell, who did his thing all 3 preseason games. All 3 preseason games, he did his thing. We got Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who is, I believe, a serviceable linebacker, just in case. I don't think he's outstanding, but I think he's serviceable. You know what I mean? I think he's serviceable. I feel like this. If he were to start with enough games up under his belt, he will be okay, especially with Zach Baum being there. I don't know how. I think tackling isn't a problem for him. You know, shooting the gap, hitting the gap isn't a problem for him. That he have is coverage. That's what I saw. Nonetheless, the linebacker position is, I promise you, it's very, very, very good. That linebacker room is good. The defensive front, I feel like with the pieces that we have collectively, we're good. As far as rotational pieces, you know what I mean? Collectively, like I said, Uche, he was okay. You know what I mean? He was okay. Ojolari, he was okay. He was okay. You know what I mean? He was okay. Like I said, those are rotational pieces and everything like that. So that's that. I might get back to the preseason game, but let me start off like this though. Going into the season, you know, we already got a couple of injuries brewing. You know what I mean? You got Landon Dickinson, who's dealing with something. I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. AJ Brown was dealing with a hamstring injury. This is something that's been lingering from season to season. You know what I mean? So we gotta see if he's capable of going week 1. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why we acquired Mitchie, one of them names, but that's one of the reasons why we acquired him, because we don't know if AJ Brown's going to be full throttle. Smitty was dealing with some back soreness or back tightness. You know what I mean? I feel like he should be, or he will be ready week 1. You know, the only person that is healthy is Jahan Dotson. So we're going into the season kind of nicked up, but nonetheless, though, I feel like we got the pieces. We got the pieces, especially at the wide receiver position. We still got an emerging Darius Cooper, a rookie Darius Cooper, who may appear, you know, during some time during the season. We still got Anaya Smith, who may appear during some time of the season. You know what I mean? So as far as the wide receiver position, I believe that we will be good. Jalen Hurts will have some targets. As far as running backs, man, we got, of course, Saquon Barkley, AJ Dillon. We got Will Shipley, and that's all we need.